Hi everyone, I just wanted to make this video to properly and publicly announce my withdrawal from the Starbreeze partner program. I can assure you it's not a decision that I made lightly. I know literally 2 days ago or 3 days ago now, at the time you're seeing this in a video, I said that I didn't plan to quit the partner program unless something dramatic or big happened that really pushed me in that direction. I'm very sorry to say that something did happen that really pushed me in that direction, which I will get to in a minute, but before I do, I just want to say a couple of things and clear a couple of things up, just getting into this, so you're all aware of where I stand. First off, in terms of Payday content going forward, I'm still going to play and talk about Payday in my videos, in my streams, because I'm still a fan of this franchise, and I think sometimes in some of my videos, it's been lost that everything I say has been as a Payday fan at heart. It's always me trying to look out for the franchise and offer my thoughts on how best to handle things and my own perspectives. And that doesn't mean they're always right, but it's always someone talking with passion. If you know me at all, you know that when there's things I like, I care about them a lot. Whether it's buying Build-A-Bears for blue hedgehogs, whether it's having a collection of lightsabers, or whether it's sitting with a camera in front of me and talking about a heisting game where you rob banks and get paid and there's funny meme lines in it. Whatever it is, I get very invested in the things that I like, and Payday is no exception. So that's always been my goal with this, and I intend to carry that on. Just because I'm not partnered with Starbreeze anymore does not mean that I won't be making Payday content. That's not going to happen. I also do want to clarify that I have no bad blood with any particular individual in Starbreeze. Most notably Elizabeth, who has run this program since she first started it in 2019. She has been an absolute godsend. I cannot sing her praises enough, both in this video, I've done it privately with the partners, and just said that as I've been leaving. She has been a dream to work with, and I'm so honoured that she chose me to be one of the first partners back in 2019. Me and 3 other creators being chosen to kind of be the first properly approved people in this new era of Overkill and Starbreeze. It was a true honour. I don't regret signing up. I don't think I ever will. And I'm so grateful to her for trusting me. I not only got a good manager out of her, but also a good friend, and I treasure that a lot. But also everyone else you know, Almir, Andreas, Hauer, Sebastian, everyone else that I know that I've worked with have all been lovely. No problems with any of them individually. And even though you're probably in the back of your head thinking, oh, what about those executives? I know I've said a lot recently about the choices of the higher-ups at Starbreeze, but to make it abundantly clear if it wasn't already, I have no ill intent or venomous hatred towards anybody individually in Starbreeze. Just because I don't like certain decisions and think that certain things are not done with the Payday brand in mind does not mean that I think any particular individual is a particularly evil person or anything like that. I'm just always trying to talk about the future of the franchise I care about and what I think is good or bad for it. So I genuinely wish everyone in Starbreeze at every single level the best, whether they continue working there, whether they've been laid off, whether they are going to leave the company, whatever it may be. I truly wish you all the best. I mean that with everything in my heart. But I do want to discuss briefly why I've made this decision, because that's probably the most potent reason that you've clicked this video. And let's not make any bones of it. I've definitely had considerations recently about leaving the program, as far back as August with the whole ammo funnel incident. I've said before, we don't need to go over that again, but that was definitely the first time where I thought, do I want to be a partner permanently? And I stayed on because, like I said, I enjoyed working with the people that I knew, and I didn't really think that that incident was worthy of quitting the partner program. I didn't think it justified it. I had other serious thoughts towards the end of last year when Starbreeze announced pulling a lot of funding and a lot of staff from Payday 3, a decision which I still stand by and will say again in this video is the worst thing they could have done. I think Starbreeze have really been struggling to get Payday 3 back on the map, and I don't think a lot of evidence has proven that it successfully worked. So while maybe financially it's a good decision to back Project Baxter and hope that that's going to save the company, I think Payday's the IP that people trust in from Starbreeze, at least more than anything else, and I think honouring that should have been paramount. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to me like from the higher up perspective it is. And I think that's a real shame. And I definitely did rock my confidence with Starbreeze as a company, but I thought I'll wait it out a little bit longer and just see where we go. And today, the time of recording this, tomorrow, by the time you're, or yesterday, sorry, by the time you're watching this, a couple of articles have come to my attention from a website called 80 Level, both of which I will link in the description. One was posted about a week ago that said that Starbreeze had finally officially confirmed they laid off just under 10 people in December. And they said that they weren't tied to any particular roles or any particular projects. It was just general restructuring of the company. And then there was an article published today from the same company, 80 Level. No official comment from Starbreeze, so I will say take this with a grain of salt, but it was several anonymous reports that had come in and corroborated the same story, hence why they made the article. They say within it that they weren't going to report it, except they saw a few pieces of evidence, and it all began to seem like it was a little bit more legitimate. It basically confirms that Starbreeze laid off more people than we know publicly in November, and also this month. People are being laid off, and apparently there is LinkedIn evidence to corroborate that. I've done a bit of looking into it, but I don't want to say much more than that. I just want to state that this is happening reasoning and leave it there, because I don't think it's really important to go further into that for the reasoning here. I think it's just important to state that reading this article and looking a little bit into it, it felt to me, as someone who's been analysing a lot of the moves Starbreeze have made, especially in the last 6 months, it felt perfectly in character with what I've been seeing. And it made me very upset as someone who is friends with people who work in the company, who knows people who've been laid off. There's a couple of devs in particular I've had conversations to who I knew were laid off in December. And I feel a little bit too close to the story, and I don't feel like, in my heart of hearts, if I stay on with the company that I see behaving in this way, assuming these stories are true, which again, right now it's anonymous reports, they just seem fairly accurate, but take it with a grain of salt until Starbreeze speak about it, if they do. But I feel like it's enough for me to say, do you know what? This is the point where I say I don't want to associate with Starbreeze as a company in that way. I want to be a Payday fan, I want to talk about Payday, but I don't want to be partnered to a company where I don't think they're making decisions with their staff or consumers in mind, and that is truly how I feel. I don't have any bad blood towards partner programs. If something else comes along the line that is working with another game company and seeing more of dev insights for things I like, I will take it with open hands if it's right for me. I really like seeing that dev insight. I really like getting to talk to people behind the games that I like. That kind of stuff is fascinating to me. You probably can see it from my interview content. I love getting to know the people behind the projects. I think it's such a fascinating thing to do. But I think the time has come to end that with Starbreeze. I've had 6 years or 5 and a bit years with it, and I've really enjoyed my time, but I think, all good things must come to an end. And I think this is definitely the point where I say, do you know what? Now's the time to jump off. I've made no bones about it that I don't think Payday 3 has good chances of survival. I do fear for its future. I also have made no bones about it that I very much hope that I'm wrong, and I am never going to wish for Payday to die. I know, especially my last video, people started to think that's what I'm doing. It really isn't. I want more than anything for this game to survive. I have so much love for this franchise, and I don't want to see it die with a whimper. I want to see it go out with a bang when they choose to, not when they have to have the plug pulled. I don't think that'd be a nice thing for anybody. A lot of us rely on this franchise, and it means a lot to us in different ways. I wouldn't want to see that jeopardized. I really wouldn't. But I've just been thinking a lot about Starbreeze as a company and comparing the Starbreeze I signed on with in 2019 to the Starbreeze I'm working with now in 2025. And I have to be honest to myself that not just as the CEO changed twice, not just as, their plans with Payday generally changed and their future prospects changed, but I don't believe that in my heart of hearts I'm working with the same Starbreeze I used to. I don't see 2019 Starbreeze and 2025 Starbreeze as the same company. I kind of almost see them very differently, and that was part of my motivation behind it. I think too much has changed, and I'm not comfortable being a part of that puzzle anymore. I'd rather sit on the back, be a player, and just talk to all the players, and that's the position I'm going to take. I hope you can all appreciate this decision. As I've said, I'm going to keep doing the Payday content, so hopefully you will all still stick around despite the decision I've made. Maybe you think it's the right decision. I don't know. I've kind of thought about it a lot, and I know obviously I'm not the first partner to have done this, but be aware that every decision that I've made has been with myself in mind and my relationship with the company. I was already thinking about it before the last partner left, and I've only been thinking about it more as a result of what's happened today, and I think now's the right time for me to jump off. The only thing I will clarify is that I know Jacket comes out on Monday, and I can confirm to you now, so the last thing I will say as a Starbreeze partner, we have been given access to Jacket early. I had the DLC unlocked for me literally earlier today and haven't opened the game. I think I'm going to make the decision to just not open it, to just uninstall it from my PC and, permanently uninstall it, because I only ever had it for early access builds anyway. I think it's better if I do this as a clean cut, and despite me being quite excited for Jacket and his addition, even though he's not one of my favourite characters, I'm looking forward to the DLC, and I'm hoping it will sell well, especially with what I've said previously with the state that the game is in and my hopes for the future. But I think with this in mind, I'm better accessing it as a player. I'm better going straight into it and just seeing what I think as a consumer. I'm going to pay for DLC myself, I'm going to talk through it myself, and all that stuff, like I'm not partnered with Starbreeze, because that's where we're at. I want it to look as though it is. If you watch this right the way through, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. It's definitely a weird one, because right now I'm in limbo between actually handing in the resignation and this video going out. And it is a strange feeling to know that the game that I've been most known for the last 6-7 years is now a company I'm no longer partnered with. Like I said, it's weird because I don't regret signing on. I just feel like this is the right decision to make now, and maybe I'm just waffling at this point, but it's definitely something in my brain that I'm trying to just wrestle with and just kind of process and understand that this is not the end of my love of Payday, but it's just the start of a different chapter, and a chapter where I think I'm making the right call, and I hope that you can all agree with me on that. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for your time and for listening to me, as you always listen to me, whether I'm waffling about Payday or anything else. A lot of you put up with my content a lot, and I appreciate that, because I know I'm a little bit of a hyperactive person who waffles a lot about things he likes, and the people who keep coming back and keep checking out my videos, I appreciate it. I know my content's not for everyone, but to everyone who keeps coming back, standing by me and seeing what else I've got to say, I really cannot thank you enough. It's a privilege that I really do appreciate and I think about every day. It's really, really special to me. I'll continue to do my videos on here. I'll continue to stream over on Twitch. Please do follow me over there if you want. And as for Payday, I will continue to multi-stream Payday 3 whenever I do it on both YouTube and Twitch. None of that is changing. Anything beyond Payday will just be on my Twitch, and you can check me out over there. And any of the future games I'm going forward to, anything else I want to work with, none of that's changing. And as I've said, any of the partner programs come along that I want to sign on with, I'll look into them, make a decision that's right for me, and go from there. I think you can hopefully trust that, especially given how things have been leading up to and following Payday 3, I'm a lot wiser now. I know a lot more about what I should and shouldn't sign up for, and I'm going to keep a lot of that in mind as I go forward. Thank you all for your love. I truly appreciate it. I will leave it here, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Much love. And if I don't see you sooner, I'll see you on Monday for the release of Jacket. Take care.